Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I have a special guest here today, James Murray.
Most
of you know him as Murr from Impractical Jokers, and he is in town. I actually helped a buddy of mine, McLean Nelson. I'm an executive producer on a new movie coming out, My Brother the Time Traveler.
You're an executive producer?
I am, yeah. So that's McLean. I support him in all of his movies now. We did a couple of movies together, and they always go really well. So welcome. You've been to Utah before, or was this your first time?
I've been here many times. I have a lot of friends out here. I love Utah. It's my third favorite state.
Third favorite state?
Colorado, Arizona, Utah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I haven't put my list together quite yet, but Utah, I love about Utah, it has the 4 different seasons, and it's always changing. Have you been here for different times of summer, winter, the whole thing?
I have. It's one of those states like Colorado that's as beautiful in the summer as it is in the winter.
Yes.
In a different way entirely.
Totally agree. And you're from Staten Island, is that correct?
Yes, which is very much a tropical paradise.
I went there the first time about a month ago. I ran the New York Marathon. You start in Staten Island, which was a complete debacle. I don't know if you've ran it before, but it's a marathon just to get to Staten Island.
Oh yeah. You got to take the ferry over.
Yeah, you got to take the ferry, then you've got to take buses to the starting line. I mean, It took about 4 hours.
Yeah.
I was ready to just go home by the time the race started.
Most people are when they come to Staten Island. I feel the same way.
And so you grew up on Staten Island, and tell us a little bit. Like, you obviously are a huge comedian, joker, do a lot of those kind of things. Is that how you always were growing up, or what was it like growing up as
well, Staten Island was in the 80s, where I feel like I'm older than you.
I'm 36. So
okay, I'm 41.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. No. Your hair is doing much better than mine is.
Yeah.
Staten Island in the 80s is very much like Stranger Things. The same kind of growing up, we rode our bicycles everywhere, kind of, you just be back by dark. That was what we were told. Very trusting, it was a very sheltered kind of place to grow up. So it was, when I went to an all-boys high school with the guys. We became friends, the first week of high school, and they stayed my friends for the rest of my life. And because it was an all-boys high school too, and we were in the 80s, which was kind of a special time, I think, to grow up, there was just this instant camaraderie, And so we played pranks on each other in high school, did all that stuff, because there was no girls to distract us.
Yeah, I can imagine without...
We desperately wanted to meet girls, but there were none.
That probably kind of spawned a lot of the joking and things like that, just entertaining yourselves, because I think like when you have girls, you're just trying to impress them, right? And you're probably...
Yeah, I wish I had girls to impress. I did. I realized my dating life was so messed up because I hadn't met a girl until I was 22. It was crazy.
So you literally grew up in high school, no girls at all?
No, we used to pine over Miss Keel, Miss Devine, her before she got married. She became Miss Keel, the chemistry teacher. Oh my God.
Well, she was the one I think on one of your episodes I listened to, you went back to...
Senora Alonza!
They put you on a lie detector and you had to admit that you had a crush on this professor, this teacher.
My Spanish teacher. She's,
How did that go? Did she come up to you afterwards and talk to you about that?
She just texted me the other day. We text.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's I'm just saying, I'm on texting basis with Miss Lanza now.
I like that.
So she's a sweetheart. But yeah, that's what it was like. It was like you became very close to the teachers, and which in a way you could never do anymore. Well, we used to have sex with the teachers all the time. There's no problem. Now you can't do that anymore.
No, it's completely frowned upon, and it's kind of changed the whole landscape of that. Yeah. No. Well, and I think one of the things that people see of your group of friends, the 4 of you guys, is there more than 4, or was it always the 4 of you, by the way?
There was an original member of the Tenderloins, that's the guys in our comedy troupe. There's an original member that started with us, named Mike, who went to high school with us.
Okay.
And was with us for many years, but then he went off and had children and a baby and a very good career. And so then Q came into the troupe.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so there's always 4 of us at any given time.
Okay, it's always been the 4. And so, as you guys I think one of the things that makes you unique, and this comes out a lot in the show, is it's not that you guys, none of it's malicious, right? Everything you guys do, it really, to me, when I watch the show, more so than the joking and the pranks and all that, that's what makes it fun. But I think what makes you guys so likable on the show is that you have this genuine friendship and love, and that, I think, is the message that makes you guys more unique than some of the other people.
I agree. We don't consider it a prank show at all. We consider it a hidden camera show, but we're not pulling pranks on people at all.
Right.
I think you nailed it. It's the chemistry between us and which you have with all your friends. I saw you joking around with McLean a few minutes ago, the same kind of way that we do. So that is kind of universally funny.
Well, that's kind of a dream job to be able to hang out with your best friends, right? And just joke around with each other, get each other to do things. I know when I was in high school, we used to do this a lot too. We would like dare each other to go different things. Like, I remember one time, anything from, I got my buddy to drink his own urine one time and for $50, and then, you like have your buddy walk in guacamole or just stupid things like that. But I was always had I had this little job in high school, and so I would pay them like $10, $20, like eat a bee or something like that, and they're some of my funnest times. You guys literally get to do that for a living.
I know, but I am 41 and still single, and live by myself. No prospects of marriage at this point. So think about it. Yes, it's an amazing job, but as a result, I'm in a constant state of arrested development.
For sure, you're kind of like, okay, these guys aren't really grown-ups, but yet you are a grown-up. You just have to almost portray.
I'm also not sure whether this is real right now. This could be a prank that the guys are pulling on me. I have no idea. I don't know if McClane made a movie. I have not seen the movie yet. I'm here in Utah seeing McClane's new movie that I'm like a guest star in. I don't know if it's a real movie.
Well, that's like your whole life, right? Like everything could be a prank.
Everything could be, anything bad happening to me might be fake. Anything good happening to me might be fake. So I got a call a couple weeks ago from our agent. He's like, yeah, this Facebook wants you to host this new series. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. He told me the money. I was like, wow, this is great, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this isn't real. It can't be real.
Right?
It can't be real. I'm not sure if you're real.
I don't know. I could be just somebody that they've put out here to like, hey, we need an hour by ourselves. This guy's here. We're entertaining
Stall
him.
Murr while
just
we
keep him away. Yeah, no, that's pretty funny. Well, that's a unique part of your job that I didn't even think about, is that everything that you do, you're always questioning the realness of it. And have you had some situations where you thought something was real that was really amazing or that was really terrible?
Well,
turns out
that's the challenge for the guys and I, is that every season we think about how do we push the format of the show further. The show has to continually advance. Otherwise, people stop watching, right? So last season was the first time we did something negative happening in one of our lives for a year wasn't real. We punished Sal. We did this challenge about 2 years ago where we told Sal to jump up onto a statue in front of a museum and grab its nose, right? Like, boop, got your nose. True story, we got a letter from the Department of Homeland Security saying you cannot do that, that's a national landmark. Please explain yourself. So we had to send in a letter and photos from the TV show and explain what it was. They dismissed the case. That being said, we did not tell Sal that. We kept having him get letters, and the TV show get letters from Homeland Security, and for a year. And it led up to him getting called to testify in front of a deposition, in a deposition in front of Homeland Security. We had a Homeland Security office, we had a government office in a government building set up, and he went in and had to testify. But it was all fake.
It's all fake. And
then they shut the TV show down on set one day, and that was fake too.
Oh, man.
They revealed it was a year-long prank. So now, this season, I don't want to tell you what it's going to be, but
Well, I've noticed you guys have been doing a lot more personal live stuff as the seasons progress.
That's what
you kind of have to, right?
So this season is the first time ever that something amazing happening in one of our lives is not real.
Oh, wow.
I can't say what it is.
Okay.
But
so is it done now? It's been filmed?
No, we haven't filmed it yet.
It's
a long time coming. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We haven't filmed it yet.
That's great.
But he has no idea, and it's going to be the greatest punishment in show history.
Well, I bet you guys have so many opportunities or times when people come up to you, and I think I've listened to other interviews where you've talked about this, where people think they're in on some joke, and you guys are just trying to live your life.
Yeah.
Is that something that you constantly are battling with?
Yeah.
Every now and then?
I went to the Giants game a couple weeks ago. And at halftime, I'm in the men's room. And there's like 30 urinals in a row. There's no divider.
Yeah, sure.
It's really
a trough,
right?
Basically.
So I'm peeing. The guy to my right says, "Am I being pranked right now?" I was like, "Dude, I'm in a stadium peeing at halftime. What is this the best spot to prank you? No."
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, and one thing because you guys, similar to myself, is like I like to push the envelope and things, and just really, because a lot of what makes something funny is just when you do or say something that nobody else would do or say in that moment. Yeah. That's so funny, and that's what you guys do so well. And your audience loves that about you guys. Have you ever been worried about, like, I know you've never, and for me personally, I think when you're witty and you can kind of laugh your way out of things, you avoid getting punched a lot. Like you can avoid most of those situations. But have you ever had like a woman, for example, be offended to the point like that you guys thought you might be in some trouble or anything like that?
No, well, certainly not women, because my weaknesses are women and elders. Mm-hmm. I was taught to be extremely respectful of both. So yeah. I get so nervous, about offending somebody. But that's the charm of the show, is that we are not offensive. We're regular guys that have regular morals, and we behave right.
Well, and I think more so that people are so easily offended now, sometimes. Because you guys, one of the things that I think is your charm is you guys know where the line is. You guys always stop before it's like
it's only happened a
offensive,
single time. It's only happened a single time, and it happened 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
To me, I got hit in the face with a cell phone.
Oh.
But I knew it was going to happen. And I said to the guys, I was like, you're going to get me killed. And they made me do it anyway. There's this very big guy, 3 times my size, in the store. And they had me, the guy's shopping for jeans and stuff, right? And they had me reaching over him like this to grab pairs of jeans. I mean, right over him, pulling the jeans right in front of his face. So he was getting pissed off, right? I did it like 5-6 times, he was getting pissed. So I stepped away. I could sense it was getting tense, right? Yeah. Then they told me to go back up to him and say, excuse me. No, they didn't want me to say anything. They wanted me to hold up a giant bra in front of him. And if he asked me what I was doing, my response had to be, "Oh, you're the same size as my wife." But I was like, guys, this guy is already pissed at me. I can't hold a bra up to him without saying anything. You're taking away my only skill, which is the ability to bullshit.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
talk my way
when
around
you can talk.
Like, you take that away, what do I got? I look like an asshole, right? So I was like, all right. I was like, you're gonna get me killed, and they's like, do it. So I do it, and sure enough, he grabs me, takes out his cell phone, pops me in the face with his cell phone. I was like, whoa! But I knew it was coming, so I was backing up, so it didn't. But security came, and
So in situations like that, do you guys talk to the people afterwards and let them know
there was no talking to him?
Oh no, you guys just.
He'll be blurred on TV.
Yeah, anybody that's blurred basically didn't give you permission. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I got it.
But it rarely happens. I mean, that was the first time in 7 years somebody's popped.
Yeah.
Because that's not the goal.
Yeah, no, and I've noticed that in my own life, people are always like, because I'll heckle other teams, or I'll even just. I love to just that art of surprise and when you shock somebody's system a little bit, but people love it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people are always like, "Have you ever been punched?" I was like, "No," because they can tell you.
You got a good smile.
It's a little off,
punch you.
Yeah, it's like
a nice guy.
It's funny because we went to a football game once, and my brother, I was the one that was mouthing off to this other crowd. And we were the only 2 from our team. Thousands of people from the other team, and I'm mouthing off left and right, and somebody popped him. Not me.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, oh, sorry, brother.
Yeah.
He's bigger than me too, so that was probably good. Well,
you ever see people that on their face, they just have the kind of face that you want to punch?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about,
it's a
right?
real thing.
You see the person, you're like, this guy's a jerk, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna get into a fight.
Yep. No, that's true. And you and
I have happy faces.
We do. It's like if you punch us, you're kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
I was like, we're just here having fun. Like if you can't take it for what it is. But what's your favorite part of kind of the transition? Because you guys started out just as a comedy troupe, not just, but I mean, a comedy troupe. But you had success right away. I mean, you kind of had a pretty successful comedy team.
Well, I think we actually failed much more than we succeeded in life.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's what people like. I mean, they see you now. You guys just performed at Madison Square Garden. That's your hometown. I mean, it's got to be a dream.
Yeah, it was.
Did your tour?
I got a tattoo about it.
Did you really?
Yeah. MSG, 11/9/17.
So that was just barely. Yeah, I knew it was coming up. So.
Best night of my life.
That's
for us a New Yorker.
Well, and so explain, because I think people see you now. Tell us a little bit about the struggle, because when I did comedy for about 2 years, and I remember I played in a bar one time. It was like 3 people.
Tough.
Did you ever have those experiences as a group?
10 years ago, the guys and I performed in Manhattan at a place called Rose's Turn. It was a 50-person theater. We had 2 people bought tickets to see us perform, 2. And they were students of mine. I used to teach sketch, improv sketch. So they had to come. So they spent $5 a ticket. We made $10 on the night. We lost $55 on the night. It was $65 to rent the theater. That was 10 years ago.
Wow.
10 years later, we still have Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
So, yeah, we have failed far more than we succeeded in life. It's only we've had a great run the past couple of years, but I think you have to pay your dues. The first 11 years, man, it was a struggle. Jokers is our 3rd TV show. First one to go to series. We sold a show to A&E, a comedy show. We sold a sketch comedy show to Spike TV, shot a pilot to go to series. A&E, pilot to go to series. Jokers is a 3rd TV show. And every time you sell a TV show, it takes up 2 years of your life.
Sure.
By the time it's all done and whether they pass on it or greenlight it. It's, you just have to keep going.
And so what was it during that time when you were it was such a struggle? How did you stay motivated? Because, whether you're in business or sports or entertainment, whatever it is, I think that's the hardest part is for people is to kind of break through that barrier. But what was it that, what was your why, or how did you keep pushing when it was?
I think a lot of that is my personality. When people tell me no, it makes me work twice as hard to prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I have that asshole personality. I just... we all had different moments where we're like, shit, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe we should stop. And a few weeks before we sold the Jokers, maybe a month or 2 before we sold Jokers, Joe wanted to leave the troupe. He's like, this is not working. It's clearly, it was We sold 2 TV shows. None of them went. Time to live our lives, you know. And that lasted for a couple of days. Then he came back. He's like, all right, I'm back in. You know. And I think it's just this. There's nothing more important than succeeding. You know, it's just like I can't imagine failing. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine living a life that, you know what it was? I used to temp years ago, and I was miserable doing it. And it was paying the bills because I had to pay bills.
Sure. But
it was awful. I was like, I'm literally wasting away. I couldn't imagine that. And if you can't imagine something, it won't happen. You know, when you imagine something, you focus on it, you go, and you don't stop. So we just never stopped and never took no for an answer. And then eventually what gave us the edge was that we didn't, excuse my curse, we didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't care what other people thought. I just knew we were funny together. And we just had to find the right idea for to capture who we are and what we do.
Yeah.
And once we got the right idea, the right hook, but the hook wasn't accident. None of this was accidental. It was all planned and.
Well, that's an important point. Elaborate a little bit about that, because I think some people see like, oh, these guys got lucky. They were doing jokes on TV.
No luck.
And I know that because I know what the struggle is to get from where you're performing in front of 2 people. So give us dig into that a little bit of how you guys kind of foresaw this and planned it out.
It was a calculated, planned effort. And what I mean by that is, so my job outside of Jokers for the past 11 years is I run development for a TV company, which the job I got by pitching TV shows, right? And so my job for the past, I've had a crash course on how TV is made for the past decade in pitching and selling TV shows. Sold a show here in Utah about the plow drivers that do Lil and Big Pop.
Okay.
So for the past 10 years, my job is literally to create and sell TV shows. And I've pitched thousands of TV shows over the years with the company I work for, North South. And maybe like 7 years ago at this point, I was listening to what networks wanted, and because you're going and pitching them every week,
sure.
And I was noticing that that Hidden Camera was having a comeback. It was Punk'd was coming back. Yep. Justin Bieber was the host of it.
Yeah.
There were a couple other shows around. Different networks were doing different piloting different.
Yeah, even like
French
dating Hidden Camera.
Yes, right. So I was like, you know what? There's an opportunity here. So the guys and I were thinking of ideas for what to do. We're going to give it one more shot. We're going to try to sell a 3rd TV show. I was like, guys, I'm at my point in the company that I don't have to answer to anybody anymore. My boss is amazing. He let me do whatever I want. He says, create whatever shows you want, pitch whatever shows you want, as long as we're selling. And we did. So I had like creative freedom. So I said, guys, let's create I'm telling you I can sell a Hidden Camera show now. I think it's hot, right? The categories become hot again. So we came up with the idea of Jokers, which is an upside down Hidden Camera show with jokes on us. And so it was based on calculated intelligence with what was selling, with what networks to sell it to. So I went immediately into Comedy Central, MTV, and True TV, and we had a bidding war between the networks for the show. And then it was finding our twist on the format. So it's not just going after something that's hot; it's also changing it in just enough way that it feels different and unique.
Yes.
You know? Because there's only 7 ideas ever created by humans.
Right. Well, the thing, speaking about that on your particular show, I think the difference between your show and other like Hidden Camera shows was you guys didn't know what was going to happen. They tell you on the spot what kind of the prank is or whatever, and so that was the twist that I love about your show. I don't know if that was kind of the different thing you're speaking of.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, but that's calculated as well because you cannot sell an improv show on TV. Right. It doesn't work. The only time it did work was Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is amazing and brilliant, but also not on TV anymore. So when you go into pitch an improv show, networks freeze. They're like, because they're risk averse. That's their business, is to be risk averse. And improv, there's no guarantee. There's no script I can look at and give notes on or anything like that. So it's very, very hard to sell an improv show. We're an improv group. Yeah. So what do? We came up with an idea that disguises. It's an improv show in disguise.
It is.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we came up with this whole format, this bullshit format to disguise what the show really is from the network. So they think, oh no, it's a game. It's like a game. They compete against each other, and these are the rules of the game. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's us improvising and being forced to improvise on the spot. That's all it is.
Well, that's what somebody asked me. They said, how do these guys, when they go on your tour, how do they keep it funny? Because it's like they don't really have it all planned out. I go, you guys don't understand. They're an improv troupe first. That is what the show is. You guys are just improvising on the spot, and you actually.
Well, the tour is like a stand-up comedy tour, essentially. Though we do improvise a fair amount on stage, but there's
You do have So I did stand-up for a couple of years, and you kind of have your jokes.
90-minute set.
You have like all your jokes, but then you kind of spontaneously make it seem like they're coming out.
It all feels like we're making it up on the spot, but it's a carefully planned 90 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Well, so season 8 is about to come out.
We're shooting season 7 now.
Season 7.
Hopefully there'll be season 8 and 9.
Okay.
And hopefully do up to 10.
Okay, perfect. No, that's exciting. So, and one of the things you said is you have to keep pushing the envelope. So, like, as the seasons have progressed, I've noticed that a little bit. And then also, like you said, you've kind of started putting more of your personal lives in there.
Yeah,
how much does the show affect the direction of your personal life and where you take it?
Interesting question. Not in the way you're thinking. I think our lives haven't really changed.
Okay.
I mean, I got a little bit of a nicer apartment now than I did a couple of years ago. But that's it. We're still regular guys,
Do you guys hang out a lot outside of because you're working together now, but even though you're best friends, do you actually go do stuff when you're just completely relaxed?
Because my best friends, we could see movies together, have dinner together all the time, But it's our lives have changed more because of not because of the TV of what happens in the TV show. It hasn't influenced our lives. Rather, I think the opportunities that's come up because of the TV show has changed our lives. The tour changed my life, physically, like traveling every weekend, things like that, changed my life. The opportunities that have come from the TV show have changed my life.
Well, you have a new book coming out, right?
I do. That's a perfect example.
That.
13 years ago, I had an idea for a book.
Okay.
I spent a year writing it. I didn't have an agent, didn't have a manager, nothing like that. Spent a year writing it. It's a very, very scary thriller. It takes place in the subways in New York City. Right?
Yeah.
I had this idea for this kind of short story. I sent it to my friend. He goes, "You got to write this whole book." So I blew it up into a whole book. Spent a year writing it.
Wow.
And we're regular guys. I don't have an uncle in the business. I don't have a whatever. So I sent out my book to publishers. And I sent out my query letters to publishers and to literary agents. And not a single one opened it or read it. Got sent back to me every time because I wasn't in the industry.
Yeah, you didn't have a distribution.
I had nothing. I had no in.
Yeah.
Got sent back to me. I was like, God damn it, this is a good book.
Yeah.
I have a degree in English. I can write a damn book. Right? I spent a year writing it. For a year, researching, writing it, doing interviews and getting the procedures of, things down. And I couldn't get anybody to read it. And I was like, I can't believe I failed. Unacceptable to me.
Sure.
Fast forward to now. Last year, I was like, I need to be creative outside of Jokers too. I need to have something else to think about so that the TV show doesn't consume my life. It could be very easy
become your whole.
That's it, and then reality gets blurred. Where's James and where's Murr? What's the distinction? So I was like, I need something that's just me. And I said, holy shit, I should pick up that book again. Let me read it. Pulled it up on the laptop and I read it. I was like, this is really good. So I sent it out to HarperCollins.
Okay.
And they bought it 2 days later. They loved it, right? And
the book's called Awakened.
Awakened, yeah. And we're working on a trilogy.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Hopefully there'll be.
Well, the premise of it sounded really good. I just read. It's obviously not out yet, but tell us just the quick premise so people get excited. I mean, hopefully by the time the book comes out, this podcast will have blown up and people.
I think so. Well, I'll tweet about the podcast.
I appreciate that too.
So the book is very scary. Here's the basic premise. In the near future, New York City builds this new high-speed, high-tech new train subway system. Right? It's called the Z train. It's like a bullet train almost.
Okay.
And underneath the East River, they build this massive underground visitors pavilion, like glass, steel, literally underwater. Beautiful, right? It's the hub where all the trains connect. The inaugural run of the train. In the pavilion, underwater, is the President of the United States, the mayor, guests,
just
all sorts of
press
press
New York.
covering the event. And on the train, leaving from Jersey, is the mayor's wife and 100 lucky New Yorkers that basically won the lottery.
Okay.
When the train pulls into the pavilion, all the cars are empty, the windows are shattered outward, and the cars are drenched in blood. They don't know what happened. So then it becomes a race against time to see, are the passengers still alive? What happened to them? The mayor's wife was on the train. He's in a panic, of course. And then the tunnels start filling with methane gas, which is highly explosive and lethal to humans. So then it's like, holy shit, the whole tunnel's going to collapse. We got to get out of here. And then you come to realize very quickly that there may be something far more sinister than terrorism going on in this book.
Wow, no, it does sound pretty amazing. I'll read the book. That sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I read it, and I was like, that's it. You know, I can see how that thing would work. So
as a guy relatively close in age, you'll love it. It's got all sorts of
tiebacks to our growing up and all that stuff.
Yes, you know, it's got a laser gun in it. That's all you need is a laser gun. A laser gun. You know, I in my apartment, this is why I'm not mad. In my apartment, I have a wall of lightsabers.
Okay.
So when people come in, they battle lightsabers too. And you just battle with them.
Wow. Okay.
So my dream was always to have a house where people come over. Like you said before, you had a dream of the house where you come in and you just don't want to leave.
Yeah, you just be comfortable.
I have a house where you come in, you grab lightsabers, you start battling. That's it. For a guy our age, that's it.
I love it. I love it. So what else? What other hobbies do you incorporate those hobbies into the show much? Or it seems like more so it's more about kind of trying to involve other people always. And so I guess, do you get to really show, do you feel like you always get to show your full personality while you're filming the show? And is there things that you wish you could incorporate but you can't because it's a live TV show?
I mean, I'm definitely playing a character on the show. Mm-hmm. You know, we all are. Comedically, it works best for me to be the butt of the joke. You need the different personality dynamics, right? And truly that's the nature of our relationship anyway. A lot, but I also am very different than that too. You know, I'm kind of, I don't know. So I don't know. I think we play the role we need to make the joke work.
Yeah.
There's nothing takes higher priority to me while filming the TV show than the best possible joke.
Yeah.
And if the best possible joke is for me to not do something, I won't do it.
You don't do it.
Comedically, because it's going to work better.
Well, and I think when I did comedy and things like that, too, I'm a performer by my nature. I love to perform. I love to entertain. Like if I go to a party and people look bored, I feel like I have to do something to make the party more fun. If everyone's having a good time, I just sit back. You know, people are like, "What's wrong with Jim?" It's like, not that you guys are having fun. Like, but I love to make like that audience. So I think that you're kind of, as a comedian, you're always probably looking for, okay, how can I maximize the laughter, the performance that's going on in the room?
What's your go-to move in a party to
get it
up,
pick it going? I honestly, storytelling is my favorite. Get a good story going, and get loud with it, and kind of you get a few people coming around, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "What's going on over in the corner over there?" That's my favorite. I'm a talker. I'm a storyteller. And what about yourself?
I have no. I can't hear in parties. I have this weird thing that like I can't differentiate your voice from the background noise.
Okay.
In a club, in a bar, in a party. So I'm usually the one like kind of awkwardly in the corner. Joe will just start dancing.
Okay.
And he'll go crazy and dance. Q will be smoking up in the back. So
one thing I like to do is like a joke I like to tell is like if there's a woman at the party or a girl at the party that just seems really like like kind of uppity or not, I say, hey, you look like you can't lie worth shit, like I want to basically make a bet. If I can ask you 5 questions, have you heard this before?
No.
Yeah, I just say, I'll ask you 5 questions, all you have to do is tell the truth, and if you lie, then you have to, and I'll have some ridiculous thing. I say, if you win, I'll give you $20, and they always say yes.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it with you real quick. We can it's kind of a fun little joke.
This is a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
You're doing it with me right now?
I'll do it with you right now.
How are you going to know if I'm lying or telling
You'll know, and I'll tell honest questions. I'll tell questions that it'll be easy to tell if you're lying.
Do you have to like hold my wrist?
Just be honest about it. If I catch you, you lose.
But do you want me to lie?
Yeah, you have to lie. That's the only rule to the game, is you have to lie.
Oh, got it. So
okay.
wait, you're trying.
We're kind of improving right now.
I know,
but
but hold on. You're trying to determine what
is a lie. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. No, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. To win, all you have to do is lie. If you tell the truth, I win. That's it.
How are you going to know?
We'll know. Let's just play and you can find out, okay? So first question is, what's your name?
What if I tell the truth every single time?
Well, then you lose.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your name?
Todd.
Okay. What color is your shirt?
Purple.
Okay. What state are we in?
I see what he's doing. Kentucky.
Okay. What color? Oh no, I already asked you that, right?
No.
Oh, you've played this before, haven't you?
I did not.
I got you on the 5th.
Oh, fuck! Damn it! He got me! He always wins. Good one. That's
anyway,
fun.
there's two options.
I thought you were going to
go
a different
direction. You did get me on the first one, but there's the second one I got.
I thought you were going to go a different direction. I thought it was the 2 truths and a lie. You remember the game?
Yeah. That game's
same kind of thing.
Well. Yeah. That's.
Oh, is
that game's so hard to get people to buy into? I feel like at parties. So anytime I get somebody to try.
What's the other game? There's like a board game or something like this too.
Yeah, I'm sure they've made a game out of it.
Is it Boulder Dash?
Yeah,
Yes,
where you make
Boulder
up.
Dash.
Yeah, that's such
You
a
make
fun
up-
game.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
I
used to
love that game.
cry laughing.
Yeah, it's such a
Now,
fun game.
you play Cards Against Humanity?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, so fun.
Yeah. So I bet you guys have a riot when you play all those games with each other and just.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, that was kind of improv. I didn't plan on doing
That was good.
but
It got me the last
you
one.
asked
So
me
close.
what I do at a party, and it kind of spawned like, if
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, well, that is amazing. So coming up, you got the book, you got season 7 coming out.
Season 7 comes out in February. We're working on Joker's movie.
Okay.
We'll be filming soon, hopefully. Knock on wood. Which would be wild. You have, I think it's kind of like it would be great to do this like big Joker's movie where it's like a cross-country hidden camera movie.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Leading to like the ultimate punishment. So that's in the future. The hopes in the future that we get to shoot the movie.
And what I guess now that you guys have really been a huge success. People there's so many people, especially with YouTube now, people trying to make channels and trying to make a name for themselves. What advice do you have for people who are like, because again, you guys went from like that struggle and that real grind. What would you tell, especially like millennials that are, trying to figure out what they're going to do with this video career?
I mean, there's no better time than now. There's endless opportunities to distribute your content, which is huge, right?
Right.
Because back when we grew up, there was no. What did you do?
Right.
You made videos in your home camcorder, and that's it. Now you can have millions of people watch it. So there's endless opportunities. I would say that the rule is always good content wins. It still has to be good. So be good. Be very good. Be the best. Be better than anyone, and don't stop. And if you're not good enough, either change your career and do something else. You have to be self-aware of how good you are, or work on getting better, and don't stop.
Well, and a question about that, real quick, a follow-up question. Can you get better at being funny?
Yes.
You believe that? And what is how does somebody do that?
12 years ago, I used to work at NBC, and they had this program called PSNBC, which was like to find talent.
Okay.
And you had to get it. There's a very hard program to get into, and they put up the money to have you produce a show, and they had all the casting folks from NBC there to, it was kind of like almost like a first look kind of thing.
Okay.
And we got into the program, the guys and I, and I'm going back to 2001, and the guy who was the head of their department of the whole program came to the show, and some of the casting folks came to the show. And afterward, I saw him in the hallway. I said, "Hey, what'd you think?" And he goes, "You guys are funny. You got talent." He goes, "But you don't have an edge yet. You don't have it yet." He goes, "You got to figure out what your edge is. So you haven't cooked it long enough, basically." And I didn't understand. I was angry about it at the time because I had no distance from it. And it wasn't until years later that I realized he was completely right. It wasn't, like I said before, we eventually got to the point where it was like, fuck off. I'm going to do what I like because I love it. It's my life and I love doing this. And when that edge came, it just happened as we got older and more mature and, less silly. And when that edge happened, we were like, fuck, we just love making each other laugh. Forget about anybody else.
Yeah.
Just make each other
The
laugh.
less you try.
Then everything came together.
Wow.
So you need to find your edge.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, man.
You got it.
You've been seriously one of my
I can't
favorite
believe I
episodes.
lost at the game.
Thanks again, man.